All right, y'all, we are live. This is Mod Hotep. I'm here with Brad Chapman, and our guest is Ray Young. He's a rapper. One of them, he can actually write intelligently without cursing. Do that, what do you call it, triple time, double time, rapping, all that stuff.
Wait, can I curse on here?
You can curse on here. I don't give a damn. No,
I'm not just going to be cursing everybody out.
Just quit. Let's see. So we got Soveg on here. Shades of Soveg. Soveg, tell me what your what is it? A blog? What is it again?
Yes, it's a music marketing blog.
Okay, tell me about it, please, real quick.
Sure. So I'm a musician and a music consultant, and I write about kind of my own experiences and other musicians' experiences with marketing their music. So everything from, doing crowdfunding on Kickstarter or other platforms to how to use Hootsuite to schedule your tweets, how people got to, 25,000 followers or, on YouTube. So I'll interview folks, concert window, lots of different kind of practical stuff.
Concert window and Hootsuite. What in the world is that?
So Concert Window is a live, there's a couple of them. I've actually reviewed 2 of them. So besides doing a Google Hangout, you can also use tools that are built specifically for musicians to do a show. So Concert Window and Stage It are 2 of the ones that actually allow you to broadcast. It's specially set up so that it's particularly for musicians, and you can charge money for the show, or you can just have people contribute via a tip. So I wrote a couple of blog posts about those because they're really actually very good ways to grow your fan base and involve your fans and do like regular shows.
You're saying I can do a show on the internet and have people pay? Is that it?
Say that again. You cut out for a second.
You're saying that I could do a show on the internet, like I could be a band and play, people watch me, and they pay for that?
Yeah, it doesn't work as well for big, like 5-piece bands with, it doesn't work as well for 5-piece bands or big bands with amplification, but it works really well for like singer-songwriters. So it's kind of like YouTube, but live. And you can collect money. They have a whole thing. You hook up your social media sites, and it automatically like posts those. People can do a chat, so they could like request songs, and then they can tip you. So like I know musicians that have made $100 or more, a couple $100 just sitting in their living room doing a show for 10 people or 15 people in their pajamas. It's pretty cool.
Okay. And Hootsuite, what was that for?
So Hootsuite is a tool for scheduling your social media posts. So if you wanted to say always have consistent things going out about your band or your business on Twitter, you can hook up Twitter, you can hook up Google+, you can hook up Facebook, and it allows you to pre-schedule. So you could take like the same piece of content. Let's say you wrote a blog post and you want to be able to send that out at the same time or at even different times. You can pre-schedule it in this tool, and then you could be like if you have fans in Europe or something and you live in the United States, maybe you want to send out something specifically for them, but you're asleep. So this allows you to pre-schedule that. It has a lot of other functions too that can be really useful, but that's the main one.
HOOTSUITE.com and then concertwindow.com. And what's yours? Spell yours, whether we can go to yours.
Okay, Shades, SHADES, like sunglasses, of Solveig, SOLVEIG.
And that's SHADES, not EES, right? Or is it 2 E's?
No, you had it right. Shades, like sunglasses.
Regular shades, okay. I kept thinking you were saying 2 E's. Okay, thank you, Solveig. Brad. Okay, y'all. Brad Chapman is a vocal pre-producer. He actually does quite a bit. It's one of those things when you get in a pinch, you start finding out all this extra stuff he can do. But what we've been focusing on is him doing what it takes. Like when we do music, we do pre-production. And so what about the vocalists? We get with the vocalists and do work with them so that when they go in the studio, they give a performance. So vocal pre-producing. He's never worked with a rapper, and this rapper has never worked with a vocal coach, or have you? No. Okay. Don't want to sit here and lie on you. And so we're going to bring them together and just say, go. Neither one of these guys knows each other. So y'all do y'all's thing. Go ahead. Take it away, Brad.
All right, man. And just again, just another quick. I actually introduced Solveig earlier because she's, and this is not her show. We might make it her show. Who knows? But she's done some great stuff for me. Anyway, so this is something that's been I've been thinking about for a long time. The human voice, as some voice people will tell you, is it is the same for all of us. I mean, there are some biological differences, especially between men and women, and there are some ethnic differences in the way our voices develop genetically, and it's a very, very complex instrument. And when the microphone came in, it just took it right through the roof, because before the microphone, genres were limited to genres that could be heard in acoustic halls that were resonating. And so, and there's still genres. I mean, you get people just out, walking down the street and yelling and singing and having a good time, and nobody's worried about it being mic'd or anything. And the way they would do it is people would just listen to the music kind of as it walked by their home. And the little bit that I think I know about rap, I'll mention, and then I want Ray to chip in here. I saw some little TV blip that rap, from this writer's perspective, is from Jamaica. Does that ring a bell to you?
Rap being from Jamaica?
Yeah.
I read that article, bruh, where the dude was talking about that, and I would say it's complete garbage. Not complete garbage, but nah. Rap. Yeah, good luck with that one. He said it, but it's like, yeah, good luck with that one.
I'm a little younger in the game. I mean, I'm 24 years old, but I've been doing it for a long time. But I wouldn't say I've never heard Jamaica. I know them more for reggae and stuff. For rap, I heard it was kind of like a East Coast thing, like with the guys around like the Run DMC era and stuff like that.
Right, the dude took it back before then.
Yeah, I mean, and
it's been in our culture for years.
I mean, and I'm sure, to me, I'm sure there's poets that may have rapped before them without knowing they were rapping, because to me, I mean, rap is just poetry. It's just kind of, it's just rhythmic poetry, because I got a lot of verses to where, and it takes, I think, that's what separates different kinds of rappers. I think I have verses to where I can rap it to you, or I can go real slow and do it as poetry. I can just read it slow and it would be poetry. And I actually had an incident like a while ago where I would put my music on YouTube. I actually have a really big following on YouTube, and so I get a lot of comments from people I don't know, people all over. And I remember I would get a lot of, on YouTube, you just get a lot of race, like, you get all kinds of comments. Hold on, where's the camera? What am I looking into?
Right there.
Okay, wait. You get a lot of kind of comments, and I remember I'd get like racist comments of people that just, not even racist, people just, they didn't like rap because they were a different race. They didn't like rap at all. They only like country. They only like this. So that made me one day say, I'm not gonna rap. I'm gonna make it all poetry, because anybody can like poetry. Everybody has to like poetry. So I decided from that day, that rap to me was just poetry. So I feel like it goes farther back than even we might know. But I've never heard of Jamaica though.
When on that article, Brad, like the African culture, if that person were to go back to Africa, you'd probably find somebody talking, doing music where they're talking. It's
Right.
it goes back to Africa. It's part of our culture. So that he traced it back to Jamaica, but it actually goes back, if you want to really go, it actually goes back to Africa.
Yeah, and there's actually a kind of a weird form of it in musical theater too. It's kind of where the actor, he's a good actor and he's got a strong voice, but he's not a great singer. So what he does is he kind of yells on pitch. And so he doesn't hold out notes, and he uses a lot of rhythm, and he cuts things short. And where the other singers are trying to do everything very melodically and beautifully and powerfully, this guy, one of the most obvious one was that big, 76 big band on the parade, and then the professor for that, well, how you do, but it was more predictable, I think. Because then the way I would think of rap is only because, again, you had a songwriter and you had a character.
Mm-hmm.
And in rap is closer to my heart in music because rappers are artists.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's more what I look for in my own personal interest, and I guess I always have, even though when rap first introduced itself to me, being a singer and all that kind of stuff, especially when I was Seth Riggs' partner and we were the singers of the world. And, I was never a classical guy, but still there was that world was around me. And so rap seemed, a little bit too far out there for me to really figure out what to do with. But I can't ever say I hated it or anything like that.
A lot of stuff that goes on, like we'll say, like I was taught melody came from Europe, but melodies all over. Europeans just took it and went outrageously like wow with it. But same with vocal cadences and stuff. The stuff is all over the planet, but we try to say one group did this and that's it, and pack nah. Stuff was all over.
No,
But
that's well put.
Hopefully, I would like to, really get you at the end of this, get everybody to really appreciate rap. Maybe even if you already do a little bit more, because there's a lot of people that do. I don't want to say ruin it, but there's a lot of people that don't give it too good of a name from the stuff that you hear on the radio. But there's rappers though who are actually doing. There's a lot of, like, I like to feel like I'm one of them where I'll be doing a lot of real poetry, like within two bars. Within 2 bars, I might rhyme, or within 1 bar, I might rhyme 11 times, and I'm rhyming multiple syllables. I'm not just rhyming hat with cat with bat. I might rhyme with the word burgundy. So I would say, like, I murder beats verbally, my hyperbole's burgundy, got this purplish herb in me, and I'm serving them certainly. So in that line, I'm rhyming the word I said, I murder beats verbally, my hyperbole's a burgundy. I got this purplish herb in me, and I'm serving them certainly. And then that's one line where I'm rhyming like, maybe 10 times. And if you just heard it real fast, you just hear murder beats verbally, my hyperbole's burgundy, got the purplish herb in me, and I'm serving them certainly. But then when people slow it down, I like to do my music so to where when someone hears it, they're like, hold on, what was that? Let me rewind it. And then when they slow it down and they hear it back, they actually see that there's so much going on, like that they maybe never knew what was going on before. And I think there's just a lot of rap that really does that. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard who's my favorite artist. His name's Tech9, but he has certain people who feel they would call him a cult leader because of how hypnotized his fans got. Because he would rap so fast and to where they got to rewind it maybe 10 times, and every time they rewinded it, they saw, like, oh my God, this guy's doing so much. Like, he just did this. He just rhymed 10 times. He just used alliteration and used nothing but F's in that entire line. He just did this. And so many things that people never knew they did before. And they would do that every single line of a 5-minute song. So they'd stop every 10 seconds with his music. And at the end of it, they're like, man, this guy's a genius. And there's people that get him tattooed on him, and they believe he's like just some kind of higher power. And I don't go that far into it, but there's rappers who can actually have that effect on people. And even a bigger effect than that. Like I said, just because music gives it a bad name, I posted a status just like I think yesterday. It was just a screenshot of one of my comments on YouTube, and it was just somebody saying, I said, this is the reason that I rap. And it was a comment on YouTube of mine of somebody just saying, like, I think it said, "Hey Ray, you know this song really touched my heart. I just lost somebody the other day, and this song was kind of like a tribute to them." And I have comments of people saying that, you know, I just lost this family member, and I don't know if I would have made it if I didn't hear this song, you know, because that's what I wrote about, and that's what, you know, they related to it. So, you know, I just want, you know, everybody to know, and kind of hopefully I can show that there's music, there's rap that's, you know, so much more than what the radio shows.
Cool. And what do you think this T9, is that what you said his name was? Or
His name's Tech 9.
Tech 9. Okay, Tech.
He's actually
Close
the
to me
biggest
for the first time.
that?
But anyway, what do you think it was about him that people were willing to go back and listen 11, 12 times if they didn't get the understanding?
It's just to be honest, it's just you just can't get it the first time because he's rapping too fast. So
right, so what gets you to go back and listen again?
You just hear that he's actually doing a lot, because there's people who rap fast and they might just go, you know, I'm coming with something like, you know, for an example, like one of his lines where he's rapping really fast, he'll say, let me think of one, or it's just, I'll use one of mine because I kind of learned from him. But like if you heard me say, I'm dropping it like a prophet, the apocalypse. If you mock it, I'll be chopping it, never stopping. I'm rocking shit till you top it. Provocative bitches jocking some bottomless and some topless. I'm hot, better get some stockings. I'm higher than any cockpit. So you kind of probably didn't hear every word there. So if you wanted to, if you're interested in, and you know, you're interested in music, and you actually hear that when I say I'm dropping it like a prophet, the apocalypse. If you mock it, I'll be chopping it, never stopping. I'm rocking shit till you top it. You can kind of hear that I'm going back and I'm rhyming here in the middle of the line. I'm rhyming at the end of the line here. It was kind of me hearing like, hold on, he's not just rapping fast, because a lot of people just rap fast and they may not be saying much, they're not doing much, but he's rhyming. Like
why is he grabbing the regular listener? Like, you know all his technical
stuff. Well,
why does he grab
the
the
regular
regular
listener?
listener?
He doesn't grab the regular listener. It's kind of sad, you know. It just goes over their head. Like, you know, the average person hears.
He's got a stadium, a crowd, a big old crowd.
No, but I'm saying the average person, all they hear is, and they might just turn it like, hold on, that's a little too much for my head. I want to hear, you know, something.
Okay, the people that he's in love, or the people that are in love with him, why do they love him? The ones who are not so technical to where they understand as much as you do, but they're in the crowd and they're like
because
going crazy
they break it down themselves. A perfect example is my uncle. My uncle is a really bad alcoholic. He all my uncles are. One of them just passed away from it. The other three are kind of like, I got two of them that, you know, they actually don't have a lot of time left to live because of their alcohol. And this one, he's just a really bad alcoholic. So I watched Tech 9 do this to someone who's, you know, he's never in a sane state. He's always sitting there, you know, really intoxicated. And I played Tech 9 to him, and he just asked me. He'd be like, Ray, what the F is this guy saying, Ray? What did he say? Like, I want to know. And it was the day that he finally said, I want to know, that kind of opened up his whole world. Because he was listening to Tech 9 with me all the time, but he wasn't really listening because all he heard was, you know, and he'll always do different melodies and different things. But then he asked me one day, Ray, what did he say? Like, rewind that part for me. And I rewinded it, and he just said, oh, my God, like, that's what he said? Like, it was like a one line to him was a mixture of the deepest, the most creative, the most, you know, he's using so many terms of literature, English literature actually, like that you learn in school. And, you know, and it's within one line, you know, out of 16. And then you're like, well, man, let me rewind this second line and see what he's saying. Then the third line, and then you might have one where he kind of slows down and you don't have to rewind it. And then I watched him do that, you know, to my uncle, really hypnotize him to where I had to come in and turn off the Tech 9 because I was getting tired of it because he was blasting it all day, every day, trying to decipher the words and what he was saying.
Hey, Brad, okay, hold on. When I first heard Tech 9, he was on a movie. They had Ice Cube and a whole bunch of people on there. And when Tech 9 came on, I heard music. I didn't understand what he said, but I heard music. And like Beethoven's Fifth, his music his sound, the sound of his vocal was moving me. The emotion that he was doing it, like
it's powerful.
Yeah.
Like he has this power in his voice to where his fans would count on him to lead him at the. He's got songs where he says, you know, when revelations come, when the time comes, because he's kind of for God too all the time. He's always being for God. A lot of people get it twisted and they think he's like a devil worshiper because he looks kind of crazy, but he's for God. And he's got people, you know, who at the end of when revelations come, like they would stand behind him, hundreds of thousands of people, and follow, you know, lead his voice, or just as an example, or just anything. Like his fans hear his voice when he slows down, and you hear this like power in his voice, kind of like Tupac had, you know, like Malcolm X had, or like, and that's kind of what I try to have in my music, especially if I ever slow down and I'm not rapping fast, because that's what I like to do. When I slow down, I make sure this line has to be powerful. You know, it's got to be something that'll really.
So, Mott, you know, as you were bringing that in, would you say then, you know, without being overly simplistic, because it is, that again, a lot of this comes back to the feel of the artist?
Everything that you're teaching me is what Tech Nine does.
Yeah.
And producer DJ Wayne is one who turned me on to that. He was actually doing that. I didn't get it at first. But Brad, the stuff you're teaching me, I'm telling you, I did not understand what he said, but the emotion of what he was doing, like he'd get angry and then slow it down. I'm like, whoa, his emotion made me want to go back and what the hell did he just say? Because it must have been something.
Right, universal language.
And when you do go back and find out what he said, next time you hear that line, it's clear as day to you, and that's one of the most crazy parts, because you couldn't make it out, and then you go back, find out what it is, and then now next time you hear it, it's clear as day to you. You know this line that other people don't know right away, and you know you feel like you're actually learning something. You know, like
he's very smart, and
we're
way off track with what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
But so he's very smart. He just did a track with Eminem, and they're killing it. So, like, when the guys over here are posting that it's a gimmick, Don, some of us love this stuff. You guys are posting like it's a gimmick, blah, blah, blah. I listen to Tech Nine. The dude's telling stories. I actually do what he said. Go back and listen to everything he said. Him and Eminem just did a track, and they're killing it, and I'm loving it. They are no more a gimmick than when you put a hi-hat on a track, and the hi-hat adds a swing. Tech Nine will come in and add that swing. There's a feel that he adds. And you'll miss what's going on if you just dismiss Tech Nine as a gimmick. He's he's different.
Yeah. To Don, I agree with you. With some rappers, they're just trying to rap fast and they're not saying anything. But there's some where if you break it down and you rewind it, they're saying a lot. And if you watch this, maybe I could change your mind at the end of it.
We gotta change our mind. We gotta get Brad to do some work with you. So
yeah,
we'll play off onto this.
It's a genre, like all genres, that came from the heart of someone who said, this is really important to me and I'm going to do it and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
And that's why I have a lot of respect for rap. And I've mentioned this before, and one of my favorite descriptions of singing is it's extended speech. So if I'm not getting in too much trouble with people who are like trying to be, you know, people who feel that maybe I'm stepping over a genre boundary, I might feel like saying, well, rap is singing then, because it's extended speech. But it's not singing the way most people think of the word. So I don't like to bring that out too often. But for the kids right now, it's the newest thing. It's the latest thing. It's from the people who are living on the street. It's for the people who are living their lives, doing what they want to do. Some of it's money, I'm sure, like you guys were talking about, and a lot of that happens, you know, in genres, as we know. As a genre gets more popular, then the money starts to roll in, and then it changes the whole feel of the genre. It just kind of sales takes over the whole point of it. But where I hear that possibly I can be of value to rappers, and I think Mott just mentioned it. I guess I already have been, because again, Mott's the kind of person who will take a principle, and he'll say, "Oh, you know the principle that Brad's talking about here. Oh, Tech Nine's using that. Oh, John Lennon's using that. Oh, but Beethoven was using that. Oh, Taylor Swift's using that. That principle of this is me, this is my life, this is what I'm here to tell you about. If you don't like it, fuck off."
Yep.
And you were asking if we could swear, so you have to check the 18 box.
Yeah, and
None of-
when you hear
I
me
was checking that out.
when you hear me swear in a song, it's more for it goes with it may go with one of the rhymes that I'm saying, or it might be passion. You know, if a guy says, "Man, I'm pissed off," or he says, "Man, I'm fucking pissed off," you know, there's a lot more passion in the second.
Right.
So that's the only reason you may ever hear me use it. I'm not ever just.
What if we can get you to have that much passion without even cussing?
I can't. I mean, I've done it on certain
You
songs.
sure you can do that, bro?
I've done it. I performed at churches, and I couldn't cuss in there.
I don't know. We're gonna see.
Well, it's yeah. All right. Okay. So, one of the things that I help with singers sometimes, which is interesting, is I use rap for them because they don't have enough rhythm in their rap.
Mm.
They don't kick things hard enough. And again, it's because they've had too much melodic influence in their life.
Yeah, I like to kick hard on. I like to. That's kind of like Eminem does that to let you know when he's rhyming. Kind of when he said I sit back with this pack of zigzags in his bag of this weed. It gives me the shit needed to be the most.
Right.
He could have just said I sit back with this pack of zigzags in his bag, but he took the rhymes. I sit back with this pack in this bag in this bag.
He got real emotional with it. That was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes I feel what you're saying. I mean I see how that could help a singer out.
Well, and I think rap is, again, just things always have an effect on what's going on in life. It's just the way it is, especially when something becomes as big as rap has become. Let's see, hold on. I'm just trying to copy and paste these comments you guys are making so that I can keep them for later on. Let me copy this, and I'm over here on Word. And, oh, there we go. That was the problem. And paste. It doesn't like. There we go. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's.
Brad, have you listened much to Eminem? Have you ever actually listened to Eminem songs?
Not a lot. Again, I'm just enough attracted to melody, if you will, that, and I only have so much time.
Well,
and I know he was the number. He sold more records in the decade of 2000 than anyone.
Everything you're saying, telling me Eminem does. I'm telling you, bro. It's like that emotional stuff that you're teaching. It's all in there. It's not just some guy spitting bars. It's all that passion, making the listener feel certain things. Like when people get behind Tech Nine, it's because he makes them feel something.
Yeah, I was hoping that.
Right. So how do we get people behind Ray? Of course, now this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
So Ray, give me something you want from me. It's perfectly okay for an artist, to say, I'm sure Brad knows something, but I don't really know what he knows.
Yeah.
And so how am I going to find out what Brad knows that matters to me? Well, I think what you need to do, Ray, right now is just say, hey, Brad, what could you help me with that would get me closer to my goals? And I don't mean like business goals. I mean like emotional goals that will help your audience have a stronger emotional connection to you.
Are you saying what do I think you can help me with, or because I would love to ask you that question. What can you help me with? Because I feel like I bring a lot more to the table than just a rapper. Like I said, I've been doing this for almost 8 years. I've gained almost over 2 million authentic views all over the world on YouTube. I've performed in front of thousands. I actually just went to a contest in Chicago. It was like American Idol for rap. I stood outside.
He kicked butt.
I stood outside in 0 degrees with 5,000 other rappers. I went there on 1 day's notice. You get to go there and spit one verse, 16 bars. I flew to Chicago, I stood in line with 5,000 other rappers, and I made it to the top 50 rappers in the entire Midwest. From Tech Nine was actually one of the judges. That's why I flew there, because he's one of my idols. So, so I was out of 5,000. You know, I got picked at the top 50, and then I barely didn't make it to the finals. But you know, I went there on one day's notice. A lot of the raps I was using were old, and I just feel like, you know, I bring a lot. If I had a chance to ever show you everything I can do, my complete work, I think you'd feel like, man, you know, this guy, like what Miles said, I actually have a lot of, my music is nothing but passion.
Right.
Maybe you can hear it and actually, you know, see how, just like Eminem, like there's a lot of songs you haven't heard. There's some songs I wouldn't want to show you of Eminem because it might not look good, but then there's one I could show you, like the one he just made about his mom, and it could possibly make you cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, you know, I could show you music like that, and you may wanna, you know, help me with something, you know, just to help, because I mean that's what I and every musician needs.
Well, you know, let's go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's try, because we've talked about all kinds of stuff other than what we're actually supposed to be doing.
What do we
and you know, I don't want these to be lectures. I want these to be hands-on. You know, what happened? How does it happen? Rather than just talking about, well, you know, I sold this record and it sold 10 million copies because I did this and I did that and I produced. You know, I don't want to get into that. So, Ray, just rap something for me. Rap the deepest heartfelt piece that comes to your mind. Bam, right now, kind of like what psychologists would do to you.
I mean, the deepest one is really, really deep to where I almost sometimes don't want to rap it, but I'll do it.
That's up to you, man. That's just your.
Well, I got like a couple, like I got a couple, maybe 2, 3 different ones, because they're completely different, like that I want to show you. But this first one, I guess, it's about when I was 16. I had an abortion, so that's what this song's about.
Okay.
So it goes, look, my face above the water, and I'm afraid to go under. Doggy paddling out here, battling the waves and the thunder. Lord, what was it I did to have me out here naked? I wonder. I mean, I have been mixing potions. I've been toasting them high. I've been boasting. Is that why you left me in this ocean to die? I've been splurging. That's probably why I'm below surface, I bet. Too busy surfing the net to go to church and connect. I need dividends, bitch. I'm about my bucks. Maybe that's why I'm out here stuck. I hope the sun is shining when these clouds clear up. I'm thinking this is it for me. The calm has now subsided as I'm sinking. I reflect on all the wrongs I should have righted. Like the son I aborted. I mean, I don't know if it was a son or a girl, but at the time, hold on. I don't know if it was a son or a girl. Then again, I knew it was a son because I wanted a boy. But at the time, the stars didn't align. We weren't one with the world. I couldn't save you. I was 16 and couldn't raise you. Hazel is what I would have chose if you were a girl and you had been born. And yo, this song is for future mothers. Man, you have been warned that this shit hurts. I wanted you. I really did. But my girl's pops was a lawyer and didn't want some piss poor, silly kid raised in his soil. Though Ray was loyal. Man, he was probably correct. Lord, I just hope that I'm forgiven when you put my body to rest. Like I've been shot in the chest. I didn't know how to take. And after that, they sent my girl for 4 years out of state. Blocked her number for me, no form of contact and not a trace. As far as the baby, I found myself reminiscing upon his face. What you would have looked like or what you would have become. I want my fucking child back every time I see one. I'm fronting like this shit is fine, though my soul is so numb. I'm wishing that that kid would mind every time I hold one. I need them back, these demons tackle, feeling like my freedom shackled. Wreaking havoc on these rappers is my only means of happiness. I'm dope as tobacco, come get a pack of this. You bastards spit about nothing but ruckus. Me, I'm an activist. And I'm fighting for life and for living. Life is the vision. Baby girl, instead of taking away, how about righteously giving? Just let this song be the one you play. Don't make indecisive decisions, but it's your choice. I only pray you don't pay the price that I did win. I chose to create my biggest regret, living in debt, feeling like I owe something to him and his flesh. Now every time I look up in that mirror, when it reflects, I hate the person that I see, but I can begin to accept and understand I was adolescent. Now I know he would have been the love of my life had he had a presence. I beg for forgiveness. I pray for fatter blessings, and I know that they're nearing because Jehovah is steering to my unborn. For you I've cried a river or two, but I lost you, and I can't escape the vigorous truth. Living life without a clue of what I'm living to do. And I finally realized I'm living for you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
5'9".
I'm gonna take advantage of this. I need to go to the bathroom real quick, and then that's gonna give me a chance to think about this as well. So I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Talk about whatever you want to.
Bro, when you messed up, I thought you was about to cry.
I mean, it
Hey,
was.
Ray,
That's what it was.
that's very deep, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And see, that's exactly what I was just got finished talking about, man. That whole thing about lyrical content. That's where it's at. That's deep, man. You got it. You
Thank
got it.
you. I appreciate that.
You got it.
Let me guess, y'all thought he was gonna rap about, oh, I got some big rims and.
Hey, listen. I hope he wasn't, but hey, Mott, I knew he with you. He wasn't gonna be doing that. I knew he wasn't gonna be talking about no. He's sitting on Chrome and all that. Maybe somewhere down the line, but that's not gonna happen. He got it, man. That's a deep one.
Thank you, man. That's one actually. I mean, I don't even have that one down as much as a lot of my other ones because I don't rap that song. I wrote it. I didn't even. I recorded
You never put it out?
I recorded it, never put it out. I did it to that song, you know, Waves. My face
Let's do
above
that
the water.
Let's me and you do that one.
I would love to, man.
And where we do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, you should. See, to me, and that's just me speaking about my mind. I like to listen to what a person is saying. You know, the connection, how you connect to it. You know, I mean, I know it happened to you, but just because it happened don't necessarily mean you can write about it.
Yeah.
You know, you did a great job at that. Like I had some emotional content, and I'm sure if it wasn't this hangout and you was to cut that, it'd probably be a lot deeper than this. But I like it.
That's the song I want to do.
Oh yeah.
That right there. That's the song I want to do with you. So let's
And just so you guys know too, it's kind of hard for me to. If you guys can see here, I got this. My lips bruised. I got a big. I had an incident, and I'm rapping yesterday just to warm up for this because I couldn't move my lip at all. So I had to practice, and I knew by practicing my lip was gonna open up again. But I did it, and I did it, and I did it to where I got it kind of loose now, so I can move my jaw around a little bit more. So
his lady bust him in the lip. See, she can fight, and he can't.
No, that's not what happened. But like I said, I'd like to give you guys maybe like one or two more because my music's so different.
It ain't about that.
But it's just
that's okay. Yeah, I hear, man. You want to you're true to your heart. You want to get it out here. We get all that, and we want more. But we have to be. In fact, this is a question right now. Because we're doing this a cappella, meaning there's no rhythm. Let's not even talk about pitch right now. But there's no set rhythm that you're having to match with right now. Now, I've heard you rap with music, and I know you can stay on time. But it did give you some freedom emotionally that when you didn't have to stay perfectly in time. Yeah. So when you would sometimes go off into something that was deeper to your heart or deeper to your brain, I mean, sometimes you were looking at your, you were here, and it was like you wanted, you were feeling something here, and I know that all comes from the heart, but my point being is that it was okay for you to go off rhythm when you did that in this particular situation. Now, what do you guys do? Because rap quite often is a dance music, or it's I don't want to belittle the depth of what you're doing. It's just like the Beatles, the depth they were doing.
You can't.
They're just a bunch of goof off pop people. The Beatles were very deep. So what? So do you guys have? You got a track there or something that he can do that with?
What?
Even a drum.
I just asked him. I just told him, Brad, when you were gone, that I want to do that song with him, and the way I would do it, I would have him rap it a cappella.
Okay, all right. So that tune is probably right to where it belongs then. Yeah,
I would have it, but see, in Pro Tools, if I wanted then to put it on beat, I could go and put it on beat, or I could adjust the beat to his vocal. Because I don't like what happens when artists get restricted to the exact timing. There's a loss there.
Yep.
And so if I have him rap it a cappella and then match the beat to him, or take his vocal and see if it still works good if I put it on time with the beat. Kenny Joya has on Groove 3 this video where he does that 2 different times with elastic audio, and the emotion is still there. And I've done it before and kept the emotion. Sometimes I do it and the emotion's gone when I make the vocal fit the beat. So then I take and make the beat adjust to the vocal, or I bring in live musicians.
Yeah.
Live musicians to this rapper. And I say, listen to what he's doing, do what you guys do. Because I'm so stuck on emotion because of what we've been doing that I wouldn't want to take that away from what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. So
I've never done that before, but I would try it. I mean, and if you need me something, I can pull up the beat on my phone or something and do the. I can do if there's a beat on, I'm never gonna go. I prefer to do it on beat with the beat, but acapella, like you said, it does give me a little freedom to breathe here or there, or to add some emotion to this word or that word.
So do you want him to call up the beat that he rapped it to, or some beat, and actually rap it to that?
I can pull up the specific beat, or I can pull up a different one, whichever you'd like me to do. If you want me to do that same one,
yeah, no. Actually, I'm agreeing with with Mott. I think that song is basically right where it belongs. You know, I don't fix things that I don't think are broken.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound. It sounds amazing with the beat because it's all guitar pretty much. You guys might have heard the song. It's a big song that's on the radio. It's called Waves. It's acoustic. It's like a real deep, sad song, and so I kind of did it to that.
I know what you're talking about.
It's that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
My feet can't touch the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. It sounds really good. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got lost. What are we talking about?
There's a hit song out there that a guy sang, and it's got a pretty cool video that goes with it. But it's just a hit. He used somebody else's music to rap to it because it worked.
So how did? Oh, okay. So.
How does that acoustic guitar? Was there any drums in it?
It was acoustic. It's almost all acoustic guitar. You would love it a lot more to the beat, but I think it's all acoustic. Maybe just a little bit of drums in there.
Can I ask a question, guys?
Please, Joe.
Yes. Okay, Ray. If you could say to this guy that's in front of you here, you say, "I want you to try to ask a question," and this question would be to yourself. You just did something that was fantastic. I don't have any advice for you because, I thought it was right. But I'm not at the level Brad's at. So my question, if I was putting myself in your shoes, would be I would try to think of what one thing did I just do that I know inside of me that I want to improve on. In other words, if you think you did it all perfect and you don't need improvement, that's cool. I mean, no judgment. But if there's one thing that you think you need to improve, that's what you want to express to Brad right now.
I would never say I did it. I definitely didn't do it perfect. I kind of choked up a little bit, stumbled, but even I think there's always something I can learn. I think there's so much that he can show me. Maybe with because I just know that the things that he teaches, that you teach Brad, those are the things that I've always kind of implemented those in myself already since I was like 16. Like when I go in the studio or when you saw me perform that, the passion's always there. And I know that's one thing you like to do is to teach people, the passion and that's something that.
What you just showed me, see, I would to even ask you to do one of those lines over again would be to break your passion down and hurt it. The only thing where you stumble a little bit, there's only one rule of thumb about stumbling, and that is pre-production, and that is that obviously if we were tracking today, you should have wrapped this piece enough that would never happen.
Yeah. And to be honest, like I told them when you left, that rap was one that I never rap. That's one I have down the least. I never rap it because I ended up recording the song. I wrote it, recorded it, and I was like, I'm not going to drop this song because of the person that I had the situation with, the female at that age. I didn't know if she liked it, if she'd appreciate it. So I never bothered with the song again. So I haven't rapped that verse maybe in like a couple months, but you just said to rap the deepest one. And that's probably the deepest one, but I definitely have a lot. I mean, I do acapella, I do shows all the time. I don't stumble, like to be honest, not to sound like I'm really good, but I practice my stuff a lot.
So, Matt, have you been producing Ray much?
I met Ray when he was about 16 at Guitar Center. I recorded him. I just played the recording for him today, and I told him when he was 16, I said, "Bruh, you got it." Then he won the King of 16 out here on the radio. I have not done a song with him yet. For all these years, that was what, like 8 years ago or something?
The way I work, Ray, and especially with someone as unique as you, is and everybody knows this, who's heard me talk at all, is it's always going to be one-on-one. but it is also it's a three-way situation too, meaning nothing that way, but meaning that I work for you and the producer to bring out the best possible performance. Mott's taken on the position in life of drawing a picture in front of him and saying, this is where I see Ray, and this is kind of, and Ray and I have talked about this, and we agree, or we don't agree. And of course,
Yeah.
if there's too many difficulties, then of course you're going to have to say, well, maybe this is a bad team. But if it's a good team, then where I get involved is in helping you get ready for Ma'at. So show me something that I can help you get ready for Ma'at to record. How's that?
Something that you can help me to get ready for?
For Ma'at, So, you guys can even talk about it here for a sec and say, we're both serious guys about this. We both want to get this art in a recording studio.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you've been watching my Hangouts. It sounds like you understand my principles, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time telling you stuff you already know. But if you rap something, and again, if you've got something in mind that where you feel that I need to hear how your rhythm's doing, in other words, with tracks,
yeah,
that would be good to hear.
I can show you a lot of more like
if Mott is feeling something like, sometimes he'll say to me, and he hasn't said this about you, sometimes he'll say to me, sometimes singers they're singing like this, and I can't get anything out of them, And so sometimes I'm helping with things like that. Sometimes I'm helping with things like where to hit a note harder and when not to hit a note harder.
Yeah.
Lyrically, your rapping is far beyond my ability to comprehend at this point. But I can take sections of it, just like anybody with a good brain.
Yeah, I think if we were in the
and say, I felt this or I didn't feel this. Now, once you've done that, and I say, I felt this, we can say, okay, do we agree that what I felt is what you felt? And do we agree that it's what you wanted to feel?
Yeah.
And then Ma'at, of course, he's in this case, if he's your producer, he's still the number one guy who's saying, okay, but I need to be the guy who's really needs to know that this is going to sell records, or that people are really going to want to hear this. So he may call me and he may say, Brad, what can we do for Ray on this one particular section of the song to really make this thing fly? And it's a process. It's not something that everybody wants me to just lay out a book and a big movie or something and just say, here, watch this. And I can't spend years learning about each individual artist. It's kind of not my way. I like to give people principles and then let them go work with them, even if that's weekly. Sometimes people come in and see me 3 times a week, and every day they're working on these principles, and we're building, we're getting stronger. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe it's somebody who just needs touches up. I don't run into that very often, but it happens. So what do you guys think? What do you think, Mott, that he could rap for us right now? Or Ray, what do you think that you could rap for us right now that might have something in it that I could give some comments on other than
yeah. I think
maybe a little bit more along the lines of percussion, maybe music. I don't know if you have any inspirations of wanting to sing.
No, I could do maybe some more rhythmic things. I think at the end of the day, to kind of answer your question and Joseph's question, I think what you can help, I know you can help me because at the end of the day, you understand and music, and I feel like what I do is music at a really high level, especially when it comes to making the songs, because I do a lot of structure with it. I may do this really intense, crazy verse, but then the bridge is just like a singer's bridge, and the hook is just like a hook you hear on the radio. And I know you can maybe the lines that are really fast for you. If Mott sent you that song and you listen to the verse just 5 times, you'd hear all those lines. You'd hear everything, and then you'd completely be able to help me with. You'd have
right on.
Yeah,
you're right on. That's the process. But I think what everybody's hoping to hear today is you and I doing it right now.
Yeah.
I can't pick anything for you.
Okay. Would you like me to rap? Maybe
you
like.
did a great job. What you showed me, by the way. I'm not unhappy at all about what I just heard. I learned a lot from that. You learned a lot from that. Now I just want to take a look at another side of you that maybe is a little bit more along the lines of strict rhythm, and maybe even something that's a little more fun, more dance.
Okay. And since he said beat, do you have a beat you could call up and then rap to that beat? Something that you've done?
Yeah.
While he's looking for a beat, hey Rick, are you there? Rick's hip hop cat.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, bro, did you hear him rapping?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Did you hear him rapping?
Oh, I'm about to. I just got on, so I heard a little bit. So I'm about to wait to see what happens after Dr. Brad does something with him.
Okay, damn, you didn't hear him rapping. I was hoping you heard him rapping so you could tell me how horrible he was, you know.
Well, I'm sure working with you, he got what it takes.
Rick is one of the industry cats. I'm gonna have him on a hangout sooner or later. We're gonna get together and do a hangout. And he's hip hop. And when you came in, I was like, what? Rick then came in, cool.
Yeah, I saw the link. I said, let me jump
on. So yeah, come show us pick a beat so Brad can hear you rapping to a beat.
Okay.
Give him more. It'll give him something more to work with as far as picking something out.
Yeah. Now, would you like me, Brad? Would you prefer if I slowed it down, or would you want?
Show me exactly what you're doing, and we don't have time today, so let's not do the whole song. Let's do like
a little bit of it.
I understand like bars and phrases.
Okay.
Bars, just a couple of bars.
Can you guys hear the beat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a couple of bars.
Let's see. Look. Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. Tell me how you want it, and I might just speed up. No chicken in my chickens, always buy the reefer. I fuck it and I tell a bitch, bye Felicia. Shout out to Smokey and Craig. I smoke weed cause I can't cope in my head. No friends cause all of my close ones are dead. Caught in the middle of a riddle I'll never figure out.
Right. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. Now, there's rappers out there that have a power in a situation like that you don't have quite gained yet, and I can help you with it, and it's gonna add a lot of power to what you want to do. So this is really good. When you come in, you got to come in right dead on with the music. You and the music have got to become one person.
Okay.
Does that kind of float your boat?
No,
as far as what I'm trying to say.
So
when you come in, it's there's drums there, man. They're there to push you and drive you, and let's use them. Go ahead.
I like that too because it's something really small that I may have never even thought of myself.
My job, man.
And excuse the language on the song. I wrote this maybe about a year or two ago, but it's all at the end of the day, it's me.
And I've been a musician since I was 12, man. Don't worry.
Okay. Every morning when I wake up. Every morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
Every morning, here I go. Every morning when I wake up. Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. Tell me how you want it, and I might just speed up. No chicken in my bitches, always buy the reefer. I fucking tell a bitch.
I know you guys hate it when I stop you, especially when you feel like you're right in the middle.
No,
of
it's okay.
Listen, here's what's going to make you jump from a great rapper to a superstar rapper. You got to be right deadly on the rhythm. The first line, you did what I was going to tell you to do, and then you moved on just a little too quick. You started doing the same line over and over again.
No, well, I was kind of warming up for what you wanted. I was
all right, but something was happening. Something very magical was happening in those 3 or 4 times. So this time, I'm going to take the first phrase. What do you consider is the first phrase? Just talk it out. Tell me the last word of the first phrase.
Every morning when I wake up.
Okay. All right. So this time I'm going to rap that 10 times with the music going.
Okay.
So it's like what they call a loop. You go.
Every morning when I wake up. 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 Every morning when I wake up.
Okay. Now take more of a break. Yeah. So you do it this way. Ba-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ba-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ba-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Okay. Every morning when I wake up. 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 Something like that. Every morning when I wake up. Every morning when I wake up. That's it.
Okay, all right. Now listen. Now this is good because see now you and the band are a team.
Yeah.
Or you were floating so far away from them that we couldn't tell who we should be listening to. You or them.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that.
Okay, and that's distracting for us, especially if we want to dance to it. You know, a singer these days, especially a rapper, can be more motivating to a dancer than a drummer.
Yeah.
In other words, they hear a great rapper start to take off, and they cannot stop moving. They've got to get up and they've got to dance. They've got to move. Just like when a great drummer lays down a groove, you just can't sit there and just watch it. you got to be a part of it. You got to be a part of it now.
Yeah.
And so the thing that we would add, and we'll do this a section at a time. Every morning when I wake up, what does that mean to you? Tell me, what does that feel like? Every morning when I wake up, what does that feel like to you?
What does it feel like?
Yeah, what does it feel like every morning when you wake up? What are you feeling? Why'd you write the lyric?
Well, the way the song is, like I said, excuse the language, it says, every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. That's what I said, because when I wake up, and when just so you guys know, when it gets deeper, it says I light the weed because I've lost so many people. You know, I always like to, it's always for something. But so I say, every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. Tell me how you want it, and I might just speed up. No chipping in.
All right. Okay. Stop. Slow down. Your artistry could be your enemy sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you've got so much energy, you've got so much to say. But when you decide to go to the next level and say, I want to be great, and I want to work with the greatest people on the planet, then you've got to start taking some responsibility and start nailing down exactly what you're going to do with those people.
Yeah.
You can't be an island anymore, man.
Yeah, I understand that.
Now, the recording I heard, and I don't know how much editing was done on it and so forth, was more in rhythm than what I'm hearing right now.
The one, what did you hear? The old one?
I don't remember. I took one of these songs and posted it up, but I don't know what he was.
Was it like Chopsticks or something?
No. I don't know what he was. He has a song called Chopsticks. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Sorry if I disappear here. I'm trying to deal with my back.
Do you know what?
Stay here as long as I can with you guys. All right. So again, we need to talk about, and this is not psychology, and it would be irresponsible for me to say, well, I'm a psychologist, but I don't have a degree. So, but I can, as a director or as another human being, I can say to you, hey man, what does it mean to you when you say, every morning when I wake up, I gotta do what with the weed? What'd you say?
Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up.
I like the weed up. I like the weed up. Is that correct?
Yeah, light the weed up.
Light the weed up. Okay, see, now there's something. Maybe you're not quite clear enough there.
Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up.
Yeah, I like to weed up.
No, I light like with a lighter. I light the weed up. Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up.
Okay, there we go. I like to weed up. Is that right?
No, I light like you have a lighter. I light the weed up.
Okay, show me the rhythm, please.
Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. Tell me how you want it, and I might just speed up.
Okay, all right. So that's a whole phrase now. Now it's starting to make more sense.
Yeah, and if you see, I'm not even rhyming with just weed up or anything. I'm rhyming with light the weed up. Every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. Tell me how you want it, and I might just speed up. You know, chipping in my digits always by the reefer. It's always like 4 syllables, maybe, not just up or weed up, or because some rappers rap, you know, in my car, you know, I'm a
Going
star,
off subject.
all that.
Okay.
He goes into it, brother. He gets deep in.
I know. We could be here for 3 hours, 10 hours, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm going to show you some really basics that have worked for every musician, whether they're rebellious, whether they're not rebellious, whether they great guys, assholes, doesn't matter who they are. And that is, you're going to take the very first line this time all the way to the end of that entire phrase, and I'm not going to have you use any words this time. And it's just going to go pata 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 pa pa pa.
I do that all the time.
Good. Then let's do it with the music.
So ba da ba da ba pa 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 ba da ba da ba. With the music.
Yep. It's no good without the music. This is another thing like headphones.
That phrase or like the whole thing, or just keep going.
No, just the one thing. Just when that phrase is over. I'm having a little hard time. I'm trying to learn your phrasing. Keep going.
And then the whole phrase I told you is
okay, now keep doing that then. That whole phrase. Keep going.
I'm just waiting for the beat to keep looping.
All right. Have you got a speed, any kind of speed control in that?
Yeah.
Slow it down. We'll just slow it down 20%.
Slow it down 20. It wouldn't be on. You want me to do it without the beat then?
Oh, he wants you. You don't. Or you're not able to slow the beat.
Oh, this? Oh no, I can't. I can't control.
No. Okay. Okay. We're going to wrap this up this way, and then we can open up for questions. This is a process, as I was trying to mention to you, that is one of the processes that you can, to some degree, be pretty accurate in your own self-coaching, and I don't feel like you're going to hurt yourself by me giving you this advice and you trying it on your own.
Yeah.
You're going to take a song like this. You're going to slow it down by at least 20%. You're going to take out the words, and you're going to take one phrase, and you're going to do it maybe 50 or 60 times until it starts to feel right.
Okay.
Right now, it doesn't quite feel right.
Okay.
You're floating on the surface, and I'm wondering where you are.
Okay.
And then there you are, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm with him now. And then well, where'd he go? Oh, yeah, now, oh, there he is. Now, when you get this locked in, then you can talk more about emotion.
Okay. It's funny because I do that all the time to see how fast I'm rapping. Like when I did that, jumping like a pop in the pocket, I'll go. I'll try to do it with my hands. It's like because it's a drummer. It's the same thing a drummer's doing.
Right, but a drummer, just like a rapper, has got to have perfect rhythm.
Yeah.
You don't have perfect rhythm yet.
I tried to. I practiced it all. I mean.
But you need drums, man. This is what I understand. You try, and I'm telling you that you can do it, and I'm telling you how exactly you can do it, and I'm telling you how to do it in a really fast way.
No, I'm definitely going to take that and try that because I do it all the time, but I'm always messing around. If I put a beat on and do it for real to all my songs, I mean, I can see that making me hit everything along because I rap to the drums, to the percussion, and I like to hit right on them. I always try to.
But for some reason, it's not happening today.
Well, it might be because my jaw's fractured.
Yeah, it
But
could be. It could be, man. And you know, it could be. And if that's the case, you know, this would be like a session we'd call. You know, like when when a singer just can't sing, you know, you kind of have to stop.
I could do it though. I'd like to show. This whole thing's only about a minute long, the whole verse. So I'd like to show it to you guys if we do
Okay,
that.
1 minute, and then we got to open it to questions.
You sure?
Yep, 1 minute.
All right. This is one of my favorite verses. I usually do this a cappella at the end of a lot of my shows. All right. Look. Hey, every morning when I wake up, I light the weed up. Tell me how you want it, and I might just speed up. No chipping in my bitches, always buy the reefer. I fuck it, and I tell a bitch, bye, Felicia. Shout out to Smokey and Craig. I smoke weed because I can't cope in my head. No friends because all of my close ones are dead. Caught in the middle of a riddle, and I never figure out. Visiting my niggas and wishing that I could dig them out the grave. I'm wishing I could live without the pain. Now, Ray, you can live in misery, or you can rip and say I'ma make history for you. Now you see my picture, poster size. I'm Blake Griffin when he posterized. Picture me rolling, my nigga, close your eyes. I'm God's son, so I'm supposed to rise. Get it? You probably don't. Never wear pockets broke, cause my flow is a Versace coat. Bad bitch in a Prius, look like a Leah. Yeah, so I'm finna rock a boat. I'm living life like I got nothing to lose. I'm the bomb and it ain't no cutting the fuse. 3 kids on her own, what's a mother to do? Keep your head up and soon you'll discover the truth. But that's deeper though. No competing with the leader, I urethra flow. The power is in my words, I'm the people's hope. That's why I show up to my show with a Jesus glow. I need to blow a fiend if the weed is low. I'ma make it no mistake and I believe it, bro. When the ball's in the air, who need it most? I dive in the bleachers, I'm Jeter, yo. Ain't it a rap when I rap like a Peter though? Is the computer love when I delete a hoe? Cause she wants to be on the team so bad that she'll let herself go and leave with no class.
Cool, okay, all right, man, cool. So you were getting better as you went along. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I want to hear. I want to hear this as consistently from the very first phrase to the very end. You are nailing every phrase. You started nailing your phrases about 30% of the way in. And then I could start to groove with you. And then all of a sudden, oh, there he goes. And then I'm off again. And then, oh, he's back in. There's only one way on this earth that human beings have ever known how to correct this issue, and it is to practice with a reference point. Exactly what I'm talking about, a drum machine. You guys have, sometimes, in a way, a big example over us as musicians when we were just sitting around, you know, trying to figure out how to play with a metronome. You know, we didn't have nice drums that were like just grooving that we could just play along with. Man, we had to turn on this little click, 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 and try to make something fun out of it, you know. But we still had to go through that process. Joseph will back me up on this. The 2 people in a band that are most likely to quit after the first recording session is the drummer and the singer. The drummer, because he found out he never had any rhythm. He never really nailed the beat. When he was hitting 1, 2, and 4, he wasn't hitting 2 and 4 every time. And so it becomes a nightmare to try to get him in. What do you guys call that with the DAW? Getting him online, Joseph? What is that called?
Just getting him on the grid.
On the grid, yeah. They can't get the guy on the grid. Now, as a rapper, you got the same responsibility, man. You got to be on the grid.
Yeah.
Not all the time. You have more. You have a little more flexibility, and we'll talk about that when you get this part fixed. Okay, what questions, man? I got about 15 minutes.
As I was listening to him, I felt what you were talking about. Like it was like the beat was going and he was doing this. Like it was like and it was distracting for me. The feel of that beat, the sonics of that beat, and the sonics that he was like the emotion that he was rapping with didn't seem to fit. Like that beat is not for.
Well, the beat was in the wrong spot too when I was rapping. You guys are both right.
I would make a complete different beat for you. For your emotion, what you're saying, I would make a beat that actually had a different feel to it, based like a darker, like and even a different groove maybe.
I definitely understand though, because when I'm in the studio, exactly what you're saying, like I make sure to nail all those. I go in one line at a time and I nail them all. But
that's great. Anybody got any questions?
I should be doing that every time.
I need questions.
I got a question. Okay, this is an easy one, I hope. when he's practicing, you know, da 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 da, and he's using his own hands as the drum machine.
Right.
Now, I would say that doesn't count.
You're right.
You got to have an external timing machine. In other words, a drum machine, a metronome, whatever it is you're going to use, but your hands and your mouth are going to find the groove together. So if your mouth goes off groove, your hands are going to go off groove. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dead on, man.
Okay, so all right. Now that was more of a question than a statement because I'm going to make sure I do that this coming week.
Oh yeah, with your rappers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so an external beat.
No matter how creative something is, it's still got some parameters it has to fit into in order for someone else to enjoy it. You can rap. It's like shower singers. I've run into this on a rare occasion. People have sung in the shower. That's all I ever did. And then they say, you know, I just need a little help. I feel great, man. I sing in the shower all day long. I sound good in the shower. And then I start listening to them, and they haven't hit one note right in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, they've never had a reference point because the shower didn't give them one.
Yeah.
And they didn't listen.
It's crazy.
They didn't listen to say, hey, did I hit that beat or not? There was nothing there for them.
Yeah.
And this is what Joseph's saying is you got to have a reference point that you can trust.
Yeah.
Never let you down. And a drum machine is or a well-written beat that you have some control of the rhythm.
Yeah. Well, the beat is enough for me because you see when I did the I know where they need to be, but sometimes like when I get to rapping the whole verse, I start, you know, messing around and falling off, and I can hit them perfect like when I get in the studio, but I need to be bringing that every time like when I'm here with you guys. You hit it right on. You know, when I get in the studio, I'm punching in on certain lines to make sure I get the and when I rap
like a drummer.
and when I rap it in and when I rap it to you guys, sometimes I might mess it up, and I think I'm over here thinking that's cool because we're just here and we're not in the studio, but it's not. I mean, I should have it
all the same, man.
every time.
Can you rap it?
Remember this about people, especially when you're trying to build a fan base. Unless they know for sure you're rehearsing, they're very, very critical.
Yeah.
If they hear something they don't feel right about and they think that you are trying to put it on them and they don't want to have to deal with saying I didn't like that, it's very uncomfortable for them. So try to prepare things. You can't be perfect all the time. That's not what this is about. This is about, you know, especially today, this is about learning. But when you start slowing these things down and start mastering these lines and getting a lot closer to your craft,
yeah,
which is what I do, you know. A lot of what goes on in my sessions is ugly as hell. We make some of the ugliest sounds. We make some of the worst mistakes. These are things that are closet sounds. We don't ever do them in front of an audience.
Yeah.
And I don't post them.
I just love the advice you gave me because it's something that I can easily implement. It's just I'm being lazy. You know what I mean? Like the verse, I can rap that verse perfect, exactly how you wanted to, but it may have took me the 5th try in the studio. But I need to
get it down to the first, man. Gotta get, especially in the studio. That's my job. You and I's job is to get it down so you walk in the studio, you get the whole thing the first time, not just the first phrase.
Yeah.
The whole song you get right. You know what editing is for as far as I'm concerned? It's for correcting problems that only after the 12th time will it start to irritate the listener. It should be that good before it's edited.
Yeah.
One of the things. Huh? One of the things is I'm wondering if his verses are actually written to where it's friendly enough to saying it from beginning to end. Because a lot of stuff in the studio we stop and do, okay, let me cut in right there because it's hard to say it all the way through. And so his stuff might need to be written to where it's able to be said.
No, I write some to where...
Then how do you do it live?
Exactly.
I write some to where I could say it all, and then I may have 1 or 2 to where I need to punch those in because if I overlaps with this, and you know, it's a song where if I did it live, I'd have to have somebody, a hype man, say that exact word for me or something.
No, you're right. Live, sometimes you have to make arrangement changes.
But I love the easy verses where I don't have to, like, I got a lot of easy, slower verses where I don't have to, you know, it's perfect, it's easy, and there's no way I could mess up one little, you know, hit.
What would be interesting, Brad, is you've just the rhythm. He's been working on the rhythm, but the tones, like listening to the music and then the tones he chooses, that would also be interesting to see. Like you a rapper, work on that where the tones that they choose in their voices actually work with the track.
Well, you notice when we very first started, I was when I started getting him on the rhythm, and then I asked him, okay, now what does it feel like? I jumped ahead a little bit of what I would do in a normal session to see if he could concentrate on the rhythm and the emotion at the same time. And at this moment in time, it didn't happen. So at this moment in time, we go back and we do the right thing, we get it right, and then we do what you're talking about at the right time.
Okay.
Which could be tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to happen. You know, I'm going to start posting some of the stuff that goes on like you do here in my studio, where I've got one of Solveig. I've got to run it past her, you know, see if it's cool for me to post it. But in 5 minutes, she made a change that you would have thought took 6 months.
Hmm.
And those are the kind of things that we'll start to post so that people can see, you know, the power of pre-production and the power of thinking ahead and the power of preparation and all those things. Okay, I got one more question.
Anybody have a question?
Sorry.
I didn't really have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
I wanted to ask. Thanks. I wanted to ask Ray. Do you ever, when you're rehearsing, do you ever just play your tracks down, you know, without your vocal, and don't perform them out loud, but perform them in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever practice that way?
I've never really practiced that way. I mean, I rap them in my head all the time, all day and stuff like that, but I've never really practiced that way. When I practice, I kind of do what we were working on today. I make sure that every hit is right. So I kind of do it. I do it like I would do it live, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, because what I was gonna say was when I was learning how to play bass, this may help you if you want to try it as a tip. I was playing with a really good drummer, and I was not keeping up with this guy. So what I would do in practice I would play the bass along with his track isolated, but in my head, and I would just touch my strings. I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't hear my guitar through an amp, you know. So what I was trying to develop was kind of like an internal clock, you know, to help my timing.
Yeah.
And then I would take a real metronome, you know, not from a computer, but a real one, you know, a real live metronome, and I would play to that, you know, at different times, different speeds.
That's an interesting point, Don, about a real metronome. That's a real interesting thing you said about a real metronome. They are analog. They don't play perfect like the electronic stuff does. That's interesting.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was.
Different feel.
Coming up.
Hey Don, I'm definitely gonna try that though. I'm definitely gonna try that.
There's one more thing about rhythm that I learned.
Yeah, it just helped me. It helped me develop an internal clock over time. That's
exactly. This is where I was heading. This is what you triggered. When you know something inside and out, your internal clock quite often will do the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
You never have to think about rhythm. What happens is when your mind starts to wander, is when you start to lose your internal clock. And where it might be wandering is, what's the next word? Am I going to hit the fifth note tonight? Was I prepared to be even on stage tonight? There's all kinds of things that could be going on in the back of your mind that can be throwing your rhythm off. That doesn't mean you have bad rhythm. It just means that you weren't playing your instrument very well. And you know, as a bass player, rhythm, I mean, you're like the drummers, man. And rappers are like the drummers. And singers are becoming like the drummers. The drummers are becoming everything. I get singers in here that, you know, they want to sing they want to sing a hipper version of the Rose, you know. So they want to go. Some say love it is a river. I go, no. If you got to make this more modern, you got to sing it more like a drummer. Some say love, yeah, it is a river. I'm just going off, you know. Who knows whether I like that or not? I don't think I did like it. But that's what you do in your songwriting. You know, you try shit and you see what you like and what you didn't like. But what you notice is that I broke things up and I hit things more the way a drummer would hit his toms and stuff like that, instead of, you know, just using brushes on the snare all night long. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, I really got to go. But this has been a trip. I knew it would be. It's been a real trip, and I appreciate you coming in on this, Ray. It's
no,
first go around with a rapper.
It was an honor for me, man, and I'm everything that you've taught me. I'm gonna take all of it. I'm gonna implement it. I'm gonna make sure. Like I said, I loved it because they're all things that I already work on, but I don't work on them enough, you know. And it's something that.
Well, get a hold of me later and see if we can work one-on-one over Google.
Definitely, I'd love to.
I'm going to make sure. Well, he always practices anyway. He does it, but I'm gonna.
It's how you practice, though. Sometimes.
Getting them, you know.
Yeah, but it's not just it's like what Joseph was saying. It's not how much you practice. It's how you practice. Practicing with your fingers on your knees doesn't count for helping your voice hit rhythm.
Yeah.
Because your fingers are off and your voice is matching your fingers.
Yeah. No, I just go to the, you know, I know where it needs to be on the beat. Sometimes I get lazy. So the fact, because I know I can do the, you know, I can do it perfect. Now I just need to nail that when I deliver it to you guys. You know what I mean? I need to get it down to where it's nailed.
You're right on, man.
I'd love to show you have Ma or somebody maybe send you a song too, so you can kind of critique the song itself.
Send him what we work on.
Okay.
All right. We can do it today.
We can.
All right, man. I will say au revoir. Thank you all for coming, and we'll, you know, I don't know what the subject will be, but we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hey, thank you, Brad. I appreciate it again, man. It was an honor.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Rick. Unmute real quick, bro.
Yo, what up?
Nice to see you, bro. You back there relaxing.
Everybody's
Yo,
relaxing.
I've been in the studio world right now. It's been a little hectic trying to do some different things, so that's why I've been MIA for a minute.
What you working on?
Well, Buster got a new thing going on right now with OT Genesis, so I'm all over that a little bit. Well, there's a new band, actually. I'm kind of going back to the original roots where we're doing everything live. Everything. Okay. Drummer, bass play, nothing's a keyboard player. Even the keyboard is a real piano, real organ. So that's kind of getting interesting. So that's a new band, new situation. We'll see what happens. And I'm trying to give that live feel, but still give it the hip-hop boom bap, you know?
Right. Busta Rhymes, there's a song, one of our cats out here, Fashawn has a song with Busta out on the radio out here right now.
I got a couple songs with Fashawn. That's like my brother.
Okay.
So just to let everybody know, tell everybody about you real quick.
Oh, man, I don't know. I did a lot of stuff. I've been around for a long time, man. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I've been around.
You know a young lady named Missy Elliott by chance?
Of course, man. That's my girl, man. You kidding me? We made a lot of big records, me and Missy. So,
wow.
I've worked with you know, when it came down to hip hop, there's a few guys out here on the East Coast that was doing it. You know, I was blessed to be one of them. You know, so you name it, from, you know, Buster Tribe to I don't know, Black Star. I've been everywhere. So on the hip hop tip, I pretty much did everything you could do on the hip hop level. So
yeah, you the man. So how bad did he do? He
didn't do bad. It's just like, you got to know when you bring it, you got to bring it. You know, unfortunately in today's age, everybody has a studio. You know what I'm saying? So you then become a little lackadaisical. That's all. So you just gotta bring it all the time. You know, Bus, same way. He practiced. He just don't. When he got a performance to do, Until he owns it, he's in his headphone, in his zone before we get on stage, going over the stuff, making sure the rhythm is on point. Because he knows it's the delivery. And you got one chance to make that impression. And if you make a bad impression, it's a bigger mountain to jump over. You know what I'm saying? But talent is you just not only a gift, but knowing how to interpret that gift to the masses. There's a lot of gifted people, but they're not talented. The difference between a talented person and a gifted person is that talented person can always bring it. That's why there's some people that aren't gifted but are talented. Because they bring it all the time. I could name 1,000 artists out there that don't make no sense why they're out there. But they are talented. You are a gifted brother. I can hear it in you. I can hear it in your lyrics. Now you have to make sure that the gift and the talent become one. That's all. You'd be good money.
Thank you, man. I'd love to get anything I can learn from you as well, man. Especially with all you've done. I'm just trying to learn, man. I was in a phase where Ma remembers when I was 16 and he told me to come record with him, and he was like, "But first, you got to learn this and that." And I was like, "Man, I don't need to learn none of that. I got this down." And now I know I need to learn. These youngsters, man. I need to learn all I can get from anybody.
Yeah, I go through that all the time. Okay. But I got a different philosophy. I just give you enough rope to hang yourself. That's my philosophy. I can't be arguing with these kids, man. Working with this live band, sometimes they come up with these crazy ideas. And I'm like, I've been blessed to, work with, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I'm saying? I've, hung out with Verdine and them cats, we've done songs together. So I'm like, I tell people you can't make history. All you do is repeat it. You understand what that means? You can't make history. It's everything that's been done, dusted. All you can do is make it better, bigger, and brighter. So I look at kids and they try to do something. I'm like, yo, that's never worked. And they're like, how you know it's never worked? I've seen it done. It's never worked. Do something that worked, but make it your own and make it better. Don't be a Buster. Don't be a J. Cole. Just be you. But just make sure you make that mark and you can win. It ain't that hard to win. It ain't talent. You can't deny talent. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny talent.
Somebody over there typed Michael Jackson. My memory says you did something for Mike, or he called you in or something. Am I right or wrong?
Oh yeah, I did. I was considered the hip hop guy for Michael because I did a song with him and Tribe Called Quest. So any rapper that had to be on a song with Michael Jackson, I recorded him. I was blessed to do that. So, and he's a very. It was an interesting. He was a magical guy. He was again, when you see gifts and you see talent and you see them come together well, it's mind blowing. And I've been blessed to see that a lot of times. Alicia Keys is another magical person. You know what I'm saying? Whitney Houston. These are all people I've worked with, hung out with. Whitney was to me the most talented because she had a gift for interpretation. You gave her a song and she could make it her own. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful thing to be able to do because most people have to write their own songs and feel their own magic. But she had an ability to interpret a song like no other, And, damn, you can go down the list.
Well, when somebody like Michael or Whitney would get on a track, what was different between them and a regular cat getting on a track?
Wow. Well, Whitney was always prepared. Michael always knew what he wanted, always knew he had the sound already in his head. He taught me something. He basically, you could run the race or you can win the game. You know what I'm saying? And his thing is he's not looking at every step. He's looking at the finish line. So when you finish, you look at the finish line, you know how far you have to go. But if you just run in front of yourself, you might need more steam than you need, or you might need less steam because you're way ahead. But if you're not mindful of where you are, that dude was always musically mindful where he wanted to be. And he only kept people around him that understood that. You know, and that's why I was blessed. I got to hang out with Bruce Swedien a few times and learn some stuff from him. He's an amazing engineer. Same thing, like I did some work with Teddy, you know, and I got a chance to work and see his mystical mind. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, it's like the talent is so important right now that for you to, because before, for you to get an album out there, it wasn't that easy. Nowadays, everyone can put an album every day and put it on iTunes and put it on YouTube, put it on SoundCloud or whatever. So there's a lot of sludge out there. So for you to be able to rise above that sludge, it takes a gifted and talented individual. And I can talk for hours about sludge, because I just be like, I don't understand how half the stuff makes it out there. But
I hate it.
You know, what can you do? But it boils down to this. Now you have to make amazing projects. You can't just get away with one record. Your album has to be amazing. The sound, the vibe, everything has to be where it needs, where the whole album is an experience. Then you can win.
Are you having today to do anything different than when you were back with, I think you said Puffy and all of these people, whoever you were back doing stuff with back then? Is it different now, the stuff that you're actually having to bring to the table and help out with the artists?
Yeah. I'm wearing everybody's hats. I'm having to play producer, psychologist, psychiatrist, musician sometimes, because I play a bunch of instruments. So it's harder now because, like I said, the arena is so big, it's just like I'm trying to figure out ways to have it break down into leagues where you have your A league, B league, C league. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's just one big pool, and there's no one place you can go to for people to have great enjoyment of music and know everything they click on is going to be great. There's no place out there. You any place you go, you don't know what you're going to find pop up. So it's hard. You have to do a lot more. And now, you're in the box. No one wants to pay for the studio and mixing. So I built a rig at home so I can mix from at home. So that's harder, because when you're not dealing with outboard gear and a console and dealing with the speed of light, because sound travels at the speed of light. When you deal with a console or analog world, you're dealing with things at the speed of light. The resolution you have is phenomenal. And now you're dealing with in the box where your resolution is 44:1, 48K, 24-bit. You know what I'm saying? That's a game changer, because now you're having to build everything in that arena. So it makes it a lot harder. So artists don't understand, like, having an interface where you're dealing with speed of light changes the game. Even though you might be recording on a, like back in the day we were using digital. I was on a 3348. I've been on digital my whole life. But having to be confined to just digital doubles your workload, doubles your effort. You now have to be a mastering engineer to find gain wherever you can find gain, because you're dealing with no headroom. So, I'm talking technical stuff for everybody out there, but you can make it work. You can make the music shine. It still comes down to the village. It makes a village to raise a child. The same thing to raise a great song. It takes a team of people. It's not just one person. And if we can, we need to bring this business back, because it's just a mess right now. There's no path for like artists like you to have a chance, where it's organized chance, and now it's on OK Corral. Even artists are trying to come together and start their own digital delivery system, and I don't even know if that make any sense. No offense to, what I'm talking about, but
yep.
I just think it needs to come back to the people. The people can bring that together and make it all, a, a worthwhile experience. You know, I mean, I feel sorry for new artists. You know, we know them back in the day. We're in the studio for months, just projects coming in after it, and then they're at a certain level, and they all gonna do well because they're at a certain level. But you guys, up and coming artists, don't have that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the opportunity to have these big producers on. Now it's like, you know, everybody can produce a record, you know, and not a lot of people are talented. A lot of people are gifted, but they all can make a record. So it's like that whatever's filling up the pipeline is what's winning as far as success, but it's not meaning it's good music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know,
I understand you completely, man.
And I'm saying all that to you because I want you to understand that.
No, I understand because I'm the like the artist that I see everything you're talking about is dead on. Like for me, there is no one place for me to go. I got to go try to do, like when I told you guys I had to get on a plane and go to Chicago for this, you know, one chance to be picked out of 5,000 rappers, maybe get $100,000 out of this in a record deal, or I got to go try this radio competition, or I could take a whole different route and maybe try, you know, World Star, try to reach out to an A&R, try to reach out to a producer like this. You don't know what to do, you know what I mean? And it's crazy.
Yeah,
I wanted to do them all at once. All the
you
things.
almost got to do it all. You almost got to do it all because you don't know what's going to grab the masses' attention. You know, you don't know. But I do know one thing. If you do great music, they'll come. So you have your work cut out for you. You have to be amazing at your craft. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I've been focusing on, man. As having, like you said, a great album. I've always been. Everybody knows me out here, lyrically, and then it was kind of like, well, can he make songs? And now they hear I can make songs, and it's like, okay, well, can he make a whole project album? And now that's what I've been for the past year. You know, I've been crafting this album that I have. I put so much into it, almost 2.5 years. I mean, in the middle of it, when it was done with 23 songs, I ended up having to do some time, and when I got out, I was a whole better rapper, so I had to redo like 12 of the songs. I probably put like $5,000 into this, paying for everything that I got, studio time, paying for features, paying for, you know, big artists to get on it, paying for just everything. I just feel like I got a real good project here. That's why I'm being so delicate with it, because now working with you guys, I know I got some things I need to fix, but I've been so delicate with it because, man, it's like 2.5. I just don't want to put this out and have it just be another album that dropped. You know, I want to at least, you know, let's try to make it to the top 100 iTunes list or something. You know, I sell 1,000 copies because I always get that good first push. I could sell 100, 200, 300 copies in the first day or two, and then after that, it's like, you know, how do we keep this going? If I can get to 1,000 in a week, you know, that's top 100 iTunes stuff. It's not that hard. I just got to make it happen. And before I was getting in trouble and stuff, man, I had videos that were just going viral, getting 5,000 views a day, and just building and building to where, you know, I have one or two that got a few 100,000 views, and now, you know, coming back out, now I'm back. I'm trying to come back up, and I've gained almost all the fans I can get in this whole valley I'm in. I have their respect, but I gotta reawaken everybody and everything now, you know.
Yeah, Rick, about that, like when somebody gets popular out here like him, where he's all over the valley, everybody likes him, what would be the next step that he could do that might take him outside this area, other than going and begging some record label, some corporation or something?
Now, what you need to do is you need to be able to quantify that valley. You know, it has to show in your stats, you know. If you got the valley and you got the Bay Area, you got whatever area you got, you need to make sure you can validate that to anyone, and you can start doing that by, you can see a momentum. Like, you know, if you're seeing a momentum of like 100 sales in a week, why is that not going to 200? Like, it could be a creative reason why it's not going to 200. You know what I'm saying? Because 100 people, you know, you almost it needs to be a steady growth, not a steady decline, especially when you're a new artist. Most of the time, you don't see only established artists. You'll see them do, 100 to 300,000 in the first week, and then it starts to decline, or 1 million in the first week. But an up-and-coming artist, usually on the stats, it's the opposite way, because now it's word of mouth, and so you'll see their stats go from 100 to 200 to 1,000, to then the radio spins start to come into play. But what I suggest to you is, that Bay Area, figure out, build a portal where you can have people come in and you can reach out to them and they can join, your list, or they can see you on your, whether you're using Instagram, Vine, or whatever the case is, to start to find a way to communicate directly to those fans, because they will help build your momentum to start to reach out to other areas. You understand what I'm saying? Because instead of them having to find you as you come out with something, and it might take them a minute to find you to get to that 200,000 views, if you start to aggregate all those people, so when you do hit the go button, you'll get those views a lot faster. That's what a lot of artists aren't doing. Like, they'll go viral, and they don't even know, they just have a page on YouTube. They don't have a destination of their own website or portal. So if you go viral on YouTube, that's great for YouTube, but what does that do for you? You know what I'm saying? But if you're now have your own portal where YouTube sits on, then people start coming to your portal, then you're truly building your fan base. Because when something happens, it'll go out directly to them from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's things like that when you start to quantify and you be able to prove, like, okay, you're getting 1 million page views a month, which is not that hard to do. That 1 million page views could mean money for you. You feel me? Because now you look at your Alexa, or whatever your Google ranking is on your portal or your website or whatever, your app or whatever, however you want to do it. You then at that point can show, boom, I'm doing this band fan base, instead of saying, well, look at my views on this video. But now, how do you capitalize on that if you don't have a place to start? Everything should be pointing to your portal. Whether it's for design for phones or design for, computers, or hopefully both, that's where you make your mark, because all of a sudden, as you start building your fan base, you have a home base for them. And that's how I see it. I don't know. I mean,
that's right. That's what I was always late on that. Like, I would drop a song on YouTube, and it would get 30,000 real views in a week, and I'm like, damn, why didn't I put the iTunes link in the description? You never know. 1,000 people could have bought that, and I end up putting it up when it's already got 30,000 views, and I just missed that whole wave of people that I could have directed to my iTunes music. People that want to buy it, and now, like you said, I need to have a website already there, the iTunes link already there, and I was always lazy, because when you put a song on iTunes, it takes like a week or something to actually be in there.
Right.
So I didn't want to. I want to drop the song so fast, instead of putting it on iTunes first, waiting a week, make sure I got the link ready, I got my website ready, I got this ready, then put it up, let that get 30,000 views, and now my my website's got 1,000, and I sold sold a good amount of iTunes. Like, I get exactly what you're saying. It's something that I'm finally starting to do, and I wish I did it. When like I said, I got certain videos that got 250,000 views on just one, and it's like, man, what if I had my link on that? You know what I mean? Because people are looking all over it. Sometimes I search the songs, and like one song that has 250,000 views, I search it on Google, and 100 different people have put it up on different blogs, on different. You can find it on 100 different websites. And it's like, man, it makes me more mad. Like, man, people are looking for this. People are putting it up by themselves, because I'm not giving them a place to get it from. Even if it's not iTunes, I should at least get the numbers up on how many people I had downloaded. You know what I mean? So I can show that to these people.
But what you'll find is when people click on a video and they're watching the video, they want to know who that person is. So generally, they start searching who that person is.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anything, any kind of digital footprint out there, how will it lead back to you? You know what I'm saying?
I have everything though. Like if you were to run my name, I got a lot of stuff. I just never utilized it like you said, like I should have. You know, like it's gotten me. You know, the views have gotten me shows. It's gotten me real fans. It's gotten me fans from different countries. It's gotten me this and that. But like you said, you know, none of them.
Yeah, but you can't
None
reach
of them
out
are
to
buying
those.
the music.
You
Well,
can't you can't reach out to those fans. Those fans are reaching out to you.
yeah,
But if you have your own portal, and let's say you only had, on average, you probably, let's say you get 30% traction from everything you have out there. So you have 230, 200 views. So you would have had a home base with about 40 to 50,000 people that when you drop your next song, they would have immediately known about it.
yeah.
You feel me? And then that would have meant, boom, that would have doubled your capacity the next time versus, oh, he's got a new song. Because ain't nobody have Google alerts out on you. They won't do that yet. You know what I'm saying? No people know about Google alerts.
That's what I hate that I didn't. Like I said, I hate that I didn't do that so many times, man. On videos that I didn't know would go as big as they did, and it's like, man, I should have had the link there. And then when I finally do put the link there, you know, this video only gets 5,000, 10,000 views, and it's like, man, I should have put the link on this one that's, you know, got 100,000 or 250,000. So I completely understand what you're saying, man, and I'm gonna get on that a lot more, man, because I need to get that base for them to go to. Because I got subscribers on YouTube. You know, there's 4,000 people who every time I drop something, it goes right to them, but nobody subscribes. You know, out of millions of views, nobody subscribes. But if I would have put my link there to my page, like you said, I really believe I would have, you know, over 50,000 people there. And, you know, I missed out on a lot of them, and now that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get them all back and plus more and stuff like that.
Well, no, just take the time out and build your foundation. You got to build your foundation as an artist so you can capitalize on all those things. That's the only thing that's going to get people's attention. That's the only way you're going to start getting out, because you're probably already out the Bay Area, but you don't know it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know it because you just there's no footprint out there. Even if I Google you and see 1,000 things, that's great, but there's no way for you to get to those 1,000 things.
Yeah.
You know, you're just making Google rich. You ain't making yourself rich. I laugh at people all the time. You know, I mean, like, you know, follow like how Perez Hilton does it. You know, he's a little whatever, but you know how he structured his thing. He abuses the hell out of YouTube, but he makes sure that everything comes to PerezHilton.com.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go check him out immediately.
You'll laugh. I mean, he's one of those daily blogger guys. He's an influencer, but at the end of the day, how he structured his thing, using all the tools that are out there, you know, Facebook, you know, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, but they all point to him. So he's built a base where advertisers now go to him for stuff and pay him mad money just to, you know, get his opinion. But you as an artist, it works the same way. It's the same way as an artist. You know, you don't have to be video blogging every day, but you have to, when you do put your foot forward, you have to have a destination, and you have to be accessible on every platform, Android, iPhone. You know, every browser has to be friendly to you, and then you can make some impact. It costs you some money, but it's money well spent.
Definitely.
Tell Busta Rhymes that I dare him to come on this hangout and rap battle me.
I'm gonna try to get him one time.
Tell him I said so.
Hey, check this out. And me losing the rap battle, that's all good because he's on the show. I win regardless. So yeah, bring it on, Busta. Come on, Busta Rhymes, bring it.
I'm gonna try. I'll try to get him to come. It might be hard, you know. He don't do nothing like that for the sake of doing it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Q-Tip might do it for the sake of doing it, but you know, Busta likes to keep everything down low and then come make a roar and come out of nowhere and be like, "Yo, okay." He's
Dungeon Dragon has arrived.
I need Busta Rhymes first.
Okay. Let's I'll hit you up again. We'll try to figure out where I do a hangout with you, and me and you come in here and have some fun. You know, I promote it and get some people to come in and we have some fun with you.
Yeah, great. I'll try to do
You're pretty busy right now.
Some of these guys.
You're pretty busy right now.
Yeah, just nighttime. You know, what I'm trying to figure out is when I start. We could probably do it when I'm around bossing them and just pull him in just on some, yo, come here real quick.
Yeah,
you know?
I do that. Yeah, I do that type of stuff. I just, you know what, here.
Yeah, that's why he gonna be mad, but I don't care. But I'm like, yo,
what's this shit? But he knows about Google Hangouts, so.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He knows, but it'd be great. It'd be great to do it that way because I'm done with this project in 2 weeks. So let's plan it out because I plan when I'm mixing his joints, and then we'll do it that way.
Okay.
That was studio, and then I can give people some great examples, and we could be wired up to the board and do some really fun, fun things.
That would be awesome, bro.
All right.
Hold on, Joseph, Don, Sylveg. Any of you guys have any questions for Rick before he heads out and gets back to this live band and all that stuff he's doing?
No, I'm good, man. I just want to be a part of that next one.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah. That's gonna be cool.
Yes, sir.
It was nice hearing you.
Yeah.
It was nice hearing from you, Rick. You got a lot of insight, man.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rick. That was good stuff. Good inside stuff.
No problem, man. That's all we have is knowledge, and it's no good if we don't pass it on.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rick. I
appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. God bless everybody. Peace out, and good luck to you, my brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, Ray. Keep working, man. You got it.
Thank you.
All right, fam. I'm out. Catch you later.
All right. Take care, you guys.
All right, guys.